DLs, it's a new month. It's October.
That's right.
So you know what that means.
Check your boobs. Fill yourself up.
It's time. I'm doing it right now.
Cop a feel.
Yep.
Okay.
We say this every month. You're going to hear this 12 times a year, DLs.
You are. It's important.
You check every quadrant, check behind the nipple, and then under the armpit. Anything that feels like a marble, go to your doctor.
If you're driving or you're on a walk or something, just, tell Siri to put it in your reminders for later. Do it tonight after the kids have gone to bed. It's important. When you next jump in the shower, what did the girls tell me to do in the shower? Cop a feel and check your boobs.
Should we get into the episode?
Absolutely.
We have 1,000 things to do, but we'd rather chat to you. With emails and meetings and husbands and kids, we don't have time for this. Just what you need, two basic bitches with a podcast.
Hello and welcome to We Don't Have Time for This. I'm your host, Gemma Pranita, aka Gemma Peanut on the gram, along with my co-host,
Kate Revz.
who post-show has lost her voice.
Had a few vocal issues on this tour, trying to conserve my voice to get through this recording. It has been leaving me intermittently, but I'll do my best. I'm doing my best. There we go. I was able to sing.
Strain your voice. Curiously, Revz asked Chatty Cathy, ChatGPT, for advice on how to help her voice recover. And interestingly, it said that whispering strains your voice more than low, quiet, gentle talking.
So I've just got my phone sex voice on instead.
It's hot.
Hi, deals.
We're here for it.
Hey, deals. It's deeper, it's huskier, but I promise you I'm full of beans and got all my regular energy, even though it probably won't sound that way.
But how good is the change of seasons?
We needed it so badly this year.
Yeah, I've worked out my entire mood and personality hinges on the weather.
What do you mean you've worked it out? I've known this about you forever.
I know,
You're a houseplant.
it's really obvious though once
Gem
the
is
change of season hits.
Gem is like your favorite fiddle leaf fig. Like you've got to give her a shake and move her into the sunshine. She leans towards a window.
Yeah.
Like Gem doesn't like moody, wintry vibe anything. She's just like constantly sun-seeking, full natural light, blinding light, need sunnies inside kind of light.
Yeah, I say this all the time, but the only time I'm willing to be cold is when I'm skiing down a mountain, which I haven't done since 2003.
So basically she's not ever willing to be cold.
No, and I have to survive it like everyone does through winter.
I'm imagining an alternate universe where you actually lived in the UK and how terrible that would have been for your state, like your mental state.
Well, I wonder if I would have
Adapted?
built a tolerance to it. Yeah. So
Yeah,
my
maybe.
brother lived in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
He moved to the UK for high school. He did boarding school there. I was meant to join him, but never went because I moved to Australia instead. And my brother has that thick skin, that extra blanket protection.
He also did 10 years in New York. Was it 10?
No, it wasn't 10. I want to say 6.
Okay. So he did significant time in New York, which is just as freezing
Absolutely.
in the wrong time of year. Not wrong time. In the colder months.
Yep.
So
And
yeah.
many, many, many years living in the UK. So
Yeah,
he
so
has
he can do it.
adapted,
He can
you
do
know.
it.
I have not.
How does your mum go in UK winter? Is she fine?
Like,
does she
fine.
just slip back into it?
Yes, she does. She will
Okay.
say that there is definitely an adjustment to the season because she spent so many years living in Australia where it's like, oh, yeah, the grey.
Yes.
The constant grey and that sleet rain. You know how
Yes.
it's just drizzle all the time?
Uh-huh. It creeps up on you.
There was a period in my life for a long time where I yearned to do time in the UK because my mum, my dad, my brother have all done solid years.
And you have so much family there.
So many family members. Because we went to the UK so regularly growing up, obviously my mum wanted us to have a close relationship with our cousins and aunties and uncles and stuff. I do have a British sentiment and I do have nostalgia for British lollies or sweets as they call them in the UK.
You have a cultural British life.
Yes, I
You
do.
do. Like the whole part, I would almost call it part of your personality is
But
British.
I feel like a bit of a fraud because I've never lived there. And I actually got served
Yeah. We should probably take you to court for that.
100p.
Yeah.
I actually got served a piece of content recently which really resonated with me. This is very niche, but I'm going to share it anyway. Where someone was talking about how they don't like saying I'm half something as a
Oh.
person who is mixed race.
Okay.
Because they realize that saying you're half is not saying you're fully that.
Yeah.
And then it's like you almost don't fully belong in that culture, and then you kind of straddle two worlds. And I was like, oh my God, I really get this. And, I'm someone who for majority of my life has said, I'm half British, half Thai, but I have an Australian passport. I'm an Australian citizen. I've lived in Australia. It feels complicated to explain it. But instead of saying half, she says, I'm this and that. And I was like, yes, I love the idea of saying, yeah, I'm Thai and I'm Thai British.
Well, you wouldn't say I'm half a photographer and half a podcaster. You'd say I'm a multi.
Multifaceted creature.
I'm a this/this. It's more of
Yeah.
that. That's so interesting. So my kids have a Scottish dad, and even though my daughter looks like that side of the family, genetically, my son is the one who has the fascination and the pull and the interest in the culture. He's so interested in Scotland,
yeah.
in the culture, in the tartans, in the traditions, in the
Haggis.
I don't think anyone's interested in haggis. In the
Bagpipes.
in the bagpipes, in the ceremony, in the real old ancient history of the tribes. He always talks. He talks like it's a done deal. Like, oh, when I am older, I'm going to live in Scotland and I'm going to be
love
Scottish.
that.
He's so in, and he says, I'm British, and I'm like, well, you are British, mate. But it's so funny because he's like, he lived there for, during COVID.
Yeah.
He didn't have a big time there.
And he was so little as well.
Tiny, tiny, tiny. It suits him, I got to say. But it's interesting how some people just have a pull or an affinity to a part of their culture. So my partner, he has 3 cultures, He is American, Jewish, French. And his brother obviously is exactly the same. Genetically, they're exactly the same, grew up in the same household. His brother speaks fluent French, did time in France. All 3 of his daughters have French names.
Fascinating.
They went to French school, and the French culture, which comes from their dad's side, he was a French chef who is very, very French, is really prominent and active in his life. Whereas my partner, Americano, he's so American. He's so American. Everything you would think about an American, he is. And I speak better French than him. And mine is year 8 level French.
And his kids have very American names.
Yeah, his kids have very American names, and he's culturally so American.
It's fascinating, isn't it?
As is his brother, but my mum in her lineup of sisters was so interested in the Scandinavian side of their heritage, more than the other 2. She's gone back to the part of Sweden that my grandfather was from, and has just has a real affinity and pull towards it, whereas some people don't care.
Well, it's you look at people in the world who are adopted.
Yep.
You have some who have a deep yearning to learn about their history, who their biological parents were.
Yep.
They want to learn every detail about what their genetic makeup is and the history of who they are as a person. And then I know a number of adopted people who are like, I'm just really present in the life that I have with the people who love me, who raise me, and I don't feel a need to delve into that part of myself. And it is fascinating.
So would you say culturally you feel Thai like that? I mean, I know you've done time there, but just on a vibes level, what do you feel?
Yeah, it's a really good question, Revzy. I feel very connected, obviously, to my Thai culture because I lived there in total. 12 years of my life was spent living in Thailand.
And some of that was adult life.
Well, yeah. I moved back there after I finished high school for a year. I worked there. I had a little bit of a career there. Even when I lived back in Australia after that year, I was continuing to work there. I have a lot of family there, obviously fluent in the language. I love Thai culture. I love Thai food. I love everything about it.
Yeah.
I love the British part of me, but as mentioned, there is this part of me that's missing something because I've never lived there. So my brother feels so British.
He does. He still feels British.
Culturally, yeah. The way he speaks, his sense of humor,
Yep.
very dry, very wry.
Yep.
His interests, he's just got a Britishness to him that is very different to me.
Yeah.
But we also both really strongly identify as Australian.
Yeah.
And for me, the reveal of that came when Hubs and I went backpacking for 6 months. And when people would say, hey, where are you guys from? Without skipping a beat, I'd say Australia. We're Aussies.
Yeah.
And I didn't even bring up the other parts of my culture unless, you know,
You get into chats.
got into
late
chats.
night chats.
Exactly. Then sure, I'd expand on it. But like first thing I would say was, yeah, we're from Australia. We're Aussies.
I remember when your brother used to, because when we were in high school, Tim, your brother, would come home
Yeah.
for visits, and it was like Jem's English brother who's coming home because he fully had the accent.
Yep.
And he was living in the UK, and it was like it was so exotic to us, you know, who were sort of born and raised same
It's
culture.
kind of wild now that I'm a parent to think about
I know.
splitting up siblings like that. Like to my mum and dad, it was completely normal. My brother was shipped off to boarding school as a very young boy from Thailand to the UK. So I guess for my dad, it was like, well, you know, the kids can go to boarding school in the UK. But then we have this twist of fate where my mum repartnered with someone who got a job in Australia, and thus there was an opportunity for an adventure there, which I took that opportunity. I went to an international school in Thailand, and I was always really fond of the Aussies. I remember them vividly. I'm talking
We're the
ages.
best.
Well, I'm talking ages year 3 to year 5. So our kids' ages.
Yeah.
I remember there was Jane Upton, Megan McMahon, and Duncan McBain. They were all 3 different Aussies, not related to each
Scottish. McMahon.
Isn't that
McBain.
funny? But I've just thought they're the nicest, lax, happy-go-lucky. Like when I think about those 3 people
Yeah.
in my year, and I went to school with every culture, every race you could imagine.
Yeah.
It was the coolest thing about going to an international school in Asia. Yeah, I gravitated towards Aussies. I also was friends with Brits, but Brits felt familiar. Brits
Yeah.
felt like home.
Yeah.
But anyway, thinking forwards now, I am now being intentional about saying, oh, I'm Thai British. You know,
Yeah.
instead of saying I'm half Thai, like when people
Yeah.
say, what's your heritage? I don't want to say I'm half Thai,
Yeah.
half British anymore. I just want to say I'm Thai British. And
Yeah.
then if they ask more questions, fine. And then it got me thinking about my kids.
Yeah.
Because Iggy, especially through my husband, has shown an interest in sport.
Yeah.
Like, as in not playing, watching.
Watching. Yeah.
Wants to watch the rugby.
Yeah.
Wants to watch surfing comps with Hubs. And he's always very invested in where the competitors are from.
Yep.
So, for example, with Formula One, they're also getting into that. Oscar Piastri is in the running for world champion, which is huge. And Raf is like, oh my God, the Australian guy is winning. Like they care.
Yeah.
But there's a Thai guy, a Thai British guy, also on Formula One.
God.
Yeah, Alexander Albon, who I also have a soft spot for. And I'm trying to explain to the kids, like, we root for the UK and Thailand as well.
Or you do what my son does and just pick whoever's winning, depending on his options.
I'm sure the kids will do
He's
that.
like British, Australian, Scotland, you know, he'll just pick.
I love it. But I'm going to start correcting myself and my kids now because I've been sort of drumming into them, you're a quarter Thai, a quarter English, half Australian. I don't think I need to do that.
No.
I'm going to stop.
Love it.
Because it makes them feel like part,
Yeah.
oh, well, I'm just a quarter Thai. No, you're not. You are Thai.
Yeah.
You guys eat a lot of Thai food. You love Thailand. Like, you've had trips there. Kunta's there, their grandfather. You know, they have a strong affinity.
Their grandma is Yai.
Yeah, which is
You know,
Thai for
the
grandmother.
culture is alive.
It is. But
Yeah.
anyway, it's fascinating.
It is so fascinating. Would you ever go on one of those shows, like Who Do You Think You Are or whatever they're called?
Never thought about
Oh my
it.
God, I would love to do
yeah.
one of those.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, given the opportunity, maybe
Yeah.
it would be interesting.
My sister and I did Ancestry
Yeah,
a
I
few
remember.
Christmases ago for each other, and we loved it. It was so fascinating. And my mum was really into it. My dad was almost like did not want to hear it. He was just not interested. He was kind of like, I don't want to know, whatever. Oh, what does that mean? Everyone's a bit of this, bit of that. And I was like, interesting.
Yeah.
It's just fascinating to me what people need from their existence.
Yeah. Identity is such a big part of being human, isn't it? And I think the need to belong to something, like you've got me thinking about my husband. For whatever reason, he feels very connected to the Irish heritage. I mean, he's a Rooney.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't have immediate family or even extended family that I can think of who like live in Ireland or are Irish, but he knows that Rooney is an Irish name and he's very connected to that part. I find it fascinating because for me it's like, oh, it feels so like distant
Yeah, but
from what I know about you, but he cares.
I think it's the same as figuring out your love language.
yes.
Or if you're an introvert or an extrovert, none of it matters so
No.
much. And it's just more like sometimes we just want to understand ourselves. I really get that with your husband. Like, so my sister and I are technically Jewish. We were not raised Jewish. No, not even my nana, who it comes from, which does technically make us Jewish because it comes down the mother's side, was practicing because her parents were orphans. So we have completely lost anything before
Wow.
my nana. But we were looking through family photos and some things sort of twigged to us and we were like, we need to look into this because this feels like we have some different culture here. Anyway, so we're not practicing whatever. But I can tell you, I have always identified with that sense of humor, with like what I would call the New York Jew, you know, like musical theater, for example.
I feel like Americano has that vibe.
100%.
I mean, I know he's Jewish, but he for me,
he's got that Woody Allen.
Yeah, I'm a New York Jew. Like he's got that vibe to him.
Harry
down
Met
pat.
Sally. You know what I
Oh
mean?
my
Like
God, this answers so many questions for me.
Right?
And your attraction to him.
Like-
It's like really makes sense.
So for me, it was like, sure, I'm not a practice. It's not a religious thing for me. It's cultural. I'm like, I have always loved like Mel Brooks, you know, like that kind of like you say, your brother's very got a British sense of humor.
Yeah.
I've always had that like Jewish American affinity, and I've always loved that stuff. And so it was like, oh, this makes sense if it's in me.
yeah.
You know, why I would gravitate to that. And you're right, Americano is so that. Like, he's like
He
a
re-
waka waka,
he
like,
100p
oh,
is-
oy vey kind of guy. And I'm like, oh my God, of course we vibe on that level.
Fascinating.
And with the Irish culture is so strong, you know, it has such a incredible vibrancy to it. And it is a very, like, if you're Irish, you're fucking Irish, you know? Like, I get it. It's got a pull.
yeah.
And if you identify and you sort of just feel at home, or like it makes a bit of sense of why you are the way you are, you know, which I think is cool.
it is very cool.
But yeah, it's not like earned in any way, like you haven't done time there or whatever. But I think we're all just trying to understand ourselves, aren't we? And that's just little droplets of
100p.
what makes us up. It's fascinating. Yeah, but you're right. There are some people who are like, nope.
Yeah.
I don't want to know. I have my little life carved out. It's fine. Don't push me. Don't test me. Don't analyze me.
Totally.
But I love to analyze.
I mean, the success of Facebook is due to the fact that we're all so interested in ourselves. Zuckerberg talks about that. He tapped into human ego
Yeah, and vanity.
and vanity and this
Yes.
need to share updates on ourselves and our lives
know.
on a very public stage, which is so funny now because it's such a social media has been around for so long that it's just fully integrated. But yeah, that's what he tapped into.
Oh yeah, we all love to know which one am I? Which categorize
It's
me?
like how we love zodiac signs. It's like,
Yep, same
you know,
thing.
want to learn more about me, or is that,
Totally.
you know, me related? I don't know how we got here, but all I can say is I am loving the weather.
I know, it's so nice. We had a freaking cold, wet winter once again. And
Barely any soccer games towards the end.
none. The whole season ended on the most like fizzled out because we didn't get to play the last few games.
I know.
Devastating. But yeah, loving the sun. So ready for summer. Ready to hang our boots up a little bit, Jem.
Oh, I know.
Reconnect with our families, make eye contact with our partners, and just chill for a minute.
I do enjoy this part post-tour where things start to settle down a little bit and we can sort of wind down towards the end of the year. It's so interesting though when you think of different businesses.
I know.
Some are just winding
Winding
up
This is the biggest
to
time.
the absolute chaos or their peak selling period, which is in the lead up to Christmas. But I love that in the lead up to summer, work chills out for us and we can, enjoy more time with family.
Almost like we designed it that way.
Yeah, who knew?
Speaking of summer, we need to talk about sunscreen a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
So how was so much chat on tour about sunscreen, because I don't know if you guys have been across this ultraviolet situation, but you know, we're not a news podcast. We're not journos, but basically,
Yeah, but bring the DLs up to speed for those who missed it.
well,
Or our overseas DLs who might not know what ultraviolet is.
so I'll handle that part, and then I think you need to do the details because you're the details person in this duo. Basically, Ultraviolet is a brand of sunscreens, but beauty-based sunscreens. So sunscreen that's also skincare, basically. And it was two people who used to work at Mecca, and they left to start their own brand. They do a range of sunscreens, mineral and chemical sunscreens in beautiful packaging. Lovely. We all loved it. I used Queen Screen. In fact, it was a not spawn of mine years ago. And it really disrupted the category because SPF, obviously living in Australia, we've always been SPF obsessed because we have a hole in our ozone layer and very strong sun here. And we have grown up with the Slip, Slop, Slap campaign. And
skin cancer is rife in Australia, guys. It's no joke.
No joke. So we wear sunscreen every day. And this was like, you know, skincare as a category blew up hugely during COVID. And yeah, they just really smartly sort of capitalized on this category niche.
Beautiful branding and
Stunning.
packaging.
Great website. In
Fantastic
Mecca.
marketing.
Yeah, just beautiful. One of the sunscreens in their range, which was Lean Screen, was marketed as 50 plus. And then Choice, which is like, again, if you're not Aussie, an independent sort of review body. They review prams, they review cars, they review everything, every product basically. Did a testing of the top sunscreens, and basically Lean Screen came back as essentially not working or not doing what it says it would do.
Well, it came back as Factor 5 was what was published, which of course, as you can imagine, for people who are loyalists to the brand, and you know, I'm one of those people who finds their brand, I settle in and I use it for a long time until I'm ready to move on to something new. It's shocking.
Yeah. Well, also because it's serious, you know, it's not like a foundation that's supposed to color match where it's like, cool, what if it does, it's not hurting anyone if it doesn't.
But the efficacy of sunscreen is very important.
Very important
in Australia.
Yeah, especially for us when we're all trying to do the right thing and be as sun safe and skin safe as possible. So, you know, I put these products on my kids. So they tested 20 of the most popular sunscreens in the country, and 16 of them actually failed to meet what they claim to do. And then the brand kind of came out and doubled down and were like, oh, we're going to do our own testing or whatever. But they didn't accept it. And there was sort of mixed chatter in the industry, the beauty industry, and also things about
people then started to question Choice off the back of them doubling down, saying, no, that's incorrect testing. Like, we've done our own independent tests in Germany. And anyway, it was a bit of a dog's breakfast, the whole thing.
It was a disaster. And then basically it came out that the Choice tests were correct and that this product was very unstable. And then, you know, we were chatting to the Adore girls from Adore Beauty when we were on tour, and they were telling us that there are a lot of problems with mineral sunscreens, which in the beauty world, we love a mineral sunscreen because it's like good skincare and, you know, but they can be quite unstable. Anyway, it's just made everyone a bit jumpy with their SPF because, you know, we're talking health here.
Yeah.
And we're like all trying to do the right thing. And the idea that something could be on the market, you know, saying it's this, and you just trust, because we have the ACCC in Australia, which is like a rigorous body that is constantly testing things that they are doing what they claim they are. You know, I always feel quite smug, like we live in a country where we're quite protected, you know. Even the US, you know, we can't even have that red food coloring that they're allowed in the US. You know, there's I always feel like, someone's got me.
Yeah.
If it's on the supermarket shelves, I can safely buy it, give it to my kids, use it.
You hope, yeah.
Well, and then you feel very jumpy, right? When things like this happen and you're like, things slip through. And we, as a consumer, I don't know, you get scared.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because what are we going to do? Well, I can't go and test a sunscreen in my home. You know, you just have to trust if it's on the shelves that it's been vetted and it's going to be okay to use.
I think scenarios like this do happen every now and then. I can't remember specifically, but there was like a project that a group of chemistry students at a university did. A duo of students uncovered false claims made by a company that said their product had 10 times the amount of vitamin C in an orange.
Okay.
And then it was proven to be false and incorrect, and they had consistent testing to prove it compared to the vitamin C value of an orange. And anyway, I think when these things come to surface or to light, it forces other brands to kind of check their shit.
Yeah.
You know, in a good way. They got to sit up and go, oh, fuck. Because I do think there's dodgy business out there, you know.
Of course.
like we know what it's like. People are trying to meet the demands of their investors and they cut corners. And
Yeah.
I'm so glad that this happened. As devastating as it is for people who were very dedicated to particular brands of sunscreen to learn that they weren't working, you know, it means that we all kind of do our due diligence a bit more.
Totally. Just to be fair to Ultraviolet, in their whole range, apparently it was just this one SKU, this one product that wasn't meeting the claims, and that all their other range is still completely
past
and that like still does what it says
meets
it does.
the standard.
And in that way, I feel awful for them because I'm like, oh God, you know, like to build this brand from nothing and then have this one product. But you know, that I guess that's the game you're playing in or whatever.
Okay, so what were some brands that passed that we can feel secure about?
I've just because like I have little Scottish babies, as previously referenced, you know. I've got my dad's skin and my dad has a skin cancer cut out every 6 months, you know.
Yeah.
So I've just gone back to the Cancer Council or like Feel Good Inc. But like, honestly, it has made me very, very jumpy. We've recommended a lot of sunscreens on this podcast.
Yeah. Well, some Cancer Council ones failed.
I know, but like who can we trust if we can't trust the fucking Cancer Council?
It's very worrying. Thankfully, the Kids Cancer Council one passed the test.
That's good.
Maybe they're more diligent because it's children. But anyway, it's fucked. They all need to meet the standard as at a bare minimum. And ultimately, we still need to continue using sunscreen.
I mean, of course.
Yeah, it's essential. It's funny. I'm like reflecting in Thailand. I didn't really wear sunscreen.
Really?
Yeah, but there's no hole in the ozone. Like there's no community PSA in Thailand that people are dying from melanoma.
Yeah.
But as soon as I moved to Australia at age 11, the Slip Slop Slap campaign just hit me like a freight train, and it very quickly got on board.
I mean, we're all immigrants here. You know, we're all descendants of bloody
yeah.
European invaders. Like we're not supposed to live here in this part of the world. So it's not like maybe the Thai skin in the Thai part of the world, it sort of works.
Yeah.
But we're
Totally.
the indigenous cultures live here and they've got the skin that is appropriate for the level of sun and the, you know, the environment. So that makes sense. But
do you ever get served content, Revs, on your socials about people who are anti-sunscreen?
I do, but I flick so quickly past that stuff that
take it out of your
doesn't-
algorithm.
Yeah, I remember an era when the crunchy mums were coming on up, when the Byron Bay mum was the goat, and we all looked to her and her beautiful linens and her kids' long hair with their matching linen rompers, and they're all running around barefoot being, you know, glorious coconut drinkers.
Sun-kissed on the beach.
Well, yeah, and a lot of those particular types of creators
made huge claims.
Yeah, but no, you need vitamin D, and I do this, and we never wear sunscreen because of the chemicals. But those people also don't fly or get X-rays or ultrasounds. So, you know, it's I will be doing all those things for me.
It's wild, isn't it?
It is wild.
Well, I'm sticking with my go-to Nifty 50. That's what I use every day on my face, and fingers crossed I hope it does what it says it does.
That's all you can do, right? So anyway, you know what I don't have time for?
What don't you have
And
time
this
for?
does kind of filter into our culture chat of today. So how many times have you heard me say, Jep? So I love Chinese food, guys. Little BTS. Freaking love Chinese. Love it. I feel like it can. So this will like you lol, Jem. I don't even know if you know this because Thai cuisine was new for us in the late 90s.
Was it?
It was.
Wow, I did
mean,
not know
you could
that.
always go to a Thai part of the town and find Thai food, sure. But Thai exploded in the late 90s for us. It was always Chinese in our childhood. I never, ever ate Thai in my life growing up.
God, now it's so prevalent.
It's everywhere. It's
Yeah.
like on every, like, and you can go to a rural country town and there's often a Thai restaurant, you know? But growing up, it was all Chinese. That was kind of like sushi as well. Sushi didn't come along until high school.
I remember sushi exploding when I moved to Australia because
Yeah.
people were like, hey, have you heard of this sushi place at the square? And it's like you can buy hand rolls. Instead of having a sandwich, you can have a sushi roll.
Before that, you would have kind of had to go on a holiday to Japan to enjoy sushi. So I know that's kind of crazy to think of now, seeing as my kids are raised on so much Asian food, but it was Chinese. So there's a nostalgia. Also, it's fucking delicious.
Yum cha, baby.
We recently lost our very favorite Thai restaurant in the community.
Devastatingly.
Chat Thai left us.
My favorite.
Very devastating. And because I am part Thai myself, having a Thai bestie,
Obvi.
I find it hard to order from any other place because this is like the best. kind of went back to Chinese for a bit. I
I
was
get
like,
it.
well, my Thai place is gone. Shall we get some Chinese? Anyway, how many times have you heard me say, fuck, I love Chinese food, but I completely get puffy and have headaches and feel awful after it? It's because of the MSG.
I think you say it every time.
Every time I eat it.
Every time you eat it, which is
Yep.
frequent lately.
And literally, guys, would take an antihistamine when I had Chinese food. Okay, this is how ingrained this idea was in me. So then a couple of nights ago, I learn that MSG is not toxic. It's a spice, okay? It's an ingredient that people use in food for, like salt, for flavor enhancement.
It's as bad, in inverted commas, as what we think of salt being bad.
Yeah, and that it was a smear campaign
Yeah.
developed in the 60s and 70s in America out of xenophobia, basically trying to drive out the explosion of Chinese restaurants. So it's basically a racist smear campaign that is so embedded and ingrained in culture that, like me, someone who is a progressive, who tries to, really actively tries to be an open-minded person, has somehow absorbed from the ground up
This narrative.
this truth,
Yeah.
quote unquote, that MSG makes you puffy and makes you feel gives you a headache and makes you feel crappy. And I was like, what? So I was served this as a bit of content, and I was like, oh my God, light bulbs,
and you
light
dive
bulbs.
deeper.
So obviously I went on a big dive because I was like, I believed this. I have believed this my whole life. Turns out, yeah, it's just Chinese, like any takeaway food. Like if I eat any takeaway food, I feel a bit crap afterwards because it's not a home cooked fresh meal. They're adding lots of sodium, lots of sugar, lots of things. It's not MSG and it's not uniquely
you
Chinese.
can eat gluten and feel bloated and get a headache.
Exactly. Some people can't even eat nightshades,
Yeah.
Like we're talking tomatoes. Anyway, I was like, holy shit, this is such a reminder, about these things we just think are true and we don't ever sort of check the origins of them. Like I really just honestly thought that was a real thing, and it's a political situation from fucking decades ago.
It had a placebo effect on you.
100%.
You would eat Chinese and you'd be like, oh, I feel like shit.
Yeah.
But you feel like shit after you eat McDonald's.
Or pizza.
It's like anything that you
Or a Subway.
overindulge in
Yeah.
because you gorge yourself, right?
sure.
Chinese food tastes so fucking good.
Oh, it's so Moorish.
So more. I eat
Yeah.
way more than I can absolutely handle.
Absolutely.
Like I do not need 3 barbecue pork buns. I'm going to eat them.
Oh, yum. Now I want a barbecue
And then
pork
I want
bun.
12 dumplings. Like you find space in your stomach, you're going to feel like shit after.
Absolutely.
I can go to an Italian restaurant and gorge on pizza and pasta and also feel like shit after. But
And
it is
puffy and
funny
all those
how the
things.
narrative that we tell ourselves,
No.
like, oh, it's the MSG. And,
Yeah.
it's such a simple buzzword or buzz phrase that you can just
You can easily just go,
roll
oh,
it
it's
off
that.
the tongue. It's that.
Wild.
I know, it's wild.
Absolutely wild.
Yeah, I find it really fascinating. I've been thinking a bit about how people overuse barley belly as well, how that's become a catch cry. Oh, watch out for barley belly. Don't go to Bali. Oh, I don't go to Bali because of barley belly. Did you get barley belly? The reality is that you are not acclimatized to the food in that country. And you can get barley belly, in inverted commas, anywhere.
You had it in
In the
Russia.
I got it in Russia. Friends who came to Thailand for my wedding got sick. People who go to India get sick. People who go to Japan.
Well, deli belly, they call it there.
Sure, deli belly. But it's not a thing. You know what I mean? Like it's
It's a thing, but it's like interesting how we label it.
That's it.
Yeah, it is a real thing.
Yes.
But it's
But
labeled in a way that's like, is that covert casual racism? Like, are we saying, is it colonial?
Yes.
Are we saying, oh, don't go there, it's
Well,
dirty?
You could go to Hawaii
Yeah.
and then you'd say I got food poisoning.
Yeah,
But there's
yeah,
no brand
Yeah.
for Hawaiian
Yeah,
illness.
Because it's America. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But you have just as much chance in all these different places as I think as
Yeah.
you do in Bali. And people, I've got friends who have laid down flat sick for a week in Fiji.
Yeah.
And they go, oh, the hotel food was bad. But it doesn't have that negative brand connotation for
Yeah.
that country.
Yeah.
There's no term for it in Thailand.
Yeah.
But Thailand is no different to Indonesia. Like they're both third world countries.
It's just, a way we brand things to, with this like internalized casual white superiority,
Yeah.
It made me really go, oh, we need to question these things that we just assume a truth. If there's ever any sort of racial layer to it, you got to kind of stop yourself and go, is that real? Or is that something I've
totally.
just absorbed through, like generations of bigotry?
Do you know how many friends I have who are like, I got barley belly and I didn't eat any of the local food? And I'm like, okay. Like,
Yeah.
I hate that it's called that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's a negative connotation
Yeah.
that's linked to a racial tie there.
Yeah,
that I'm
for
not
sure.
I'm 100% not a fan of.
It's like,
But I say it. I've said it.
well, it's casually used in
It's like a
vernacular.
colloquialism.
Yeah, it's a colloquialism. It's like how certain types of hair or tattoos or things have been labeled unprofessional, but that's just white coded. You know what I mean? Like it was just ways generations back for white people to go, well, I'm uncomfortable with those symbols being in my everyday environment, so they've been deemed not appropriate for certain places. But it's like, that's just someone's culture. That's just the way they express themselves. That's just their identity, or that's just their genetics. We're coming to learn so much more about how people's identity and expression is so cultural, and how we just, but we just believe these things. It's really interesting. It's why I find private schools with their hair rules really interesting.
What are the hair rules?
Oh well, like if you go to a boys' school, you kind of have to. There's like one haircut you can have.
Really?
Yeah, and they can't
even
have,
in 2025.
Yes, and I find it
So
really
Iggy
backwards.
can't have his long.
No, he wouldn't at a private boys' high
Really?
school in Sydney. He would not be able to have his current hair unless he put it up. He'd have to put it up every day.
Oh, okay. That's okay.
No, but like tied, and there would be only certain hairstyles. He couldn't do his half up, half down, or whatever. And I know of one boys' high school, which I won't name, who they will just cut the hair and then charge it to the parents' account on day one of the term.
I can't.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah. And you could say, well, it's democratizing because if we all look the same. And I'm like, no, that's like, it's whitewashing.
Okay, how do we feel about like the military, where they have these strong policies that extend beyond uniform? Because I know in the army, for example, there is an expectation on how your hair is presented.
So I guess this is like ballet, right? Like it's a discipline.
Yep.
But again, that's a culture, or ballet would be like a cultural thing. So in ballet, we tie our hair back and we do it this way. And that's like, it's part of the respect and part of the ritual and part of the discipline of the sport, or the culture of ballet.
Yeah.
In the military, I guess it would be a discipline thing as well.
Yeah.
But also in the military, you're supposed to be a number, aren't you? Like, you're not an individual. You're a part of an army. You're part of a team. You're pulling together. It's all about stripping you of your individualism and being, in one homogenized
Maybe
group.
that's what the schools
deliberately.
want. Yeah.
I think it is.
Yeah, totally.
But I'm like, update.
Definitely.
You're raising young men. Like, update.
It's funny on the ballet front, because I grew up doing ballet. Rafa's doing ballet and she loves it. And I'm just so indoctrinated with the ballet hair culture that I don't even think about it. But when I meet a mum friend whose kid is doing ballet and they didn't do ballet, they're like, what is all this malarkey around the fucking ballet bun? Like, why can't they just have a ponytail? And I'm like, no, because that's just not how it is. Like, you know what I mean?
Yes, it's
and
ingrained.
And I haven't stopped to go, well, why can't they just have a ponytail?
Well, we've had this chat on here before about makeup for dance concerts, because Isla does not want to wear it. And she gets quite upset.
About being part of the team.
You're like, no, that's just what you do. You can't see your features on stage. And I'm like, is that true? Do you know what I mean? Like, yes, there's a part of it that's true, but is there
it's
part
definitely
of it
true.
that's about painting up little dollies for, consumption as well? Is it both things?
Yeah.
It's funny, Isla.
I mean, we wear a shitload of makeup in our show.
double what we would ever wear.
It's so awkward when we do the meet and greet after, because I'm like, fuck, it is caked on. But it is for the purpose of stage. It's because all of those lights completely wash out your features. We want to help people out so they can hear and understand what we're saying and make expression.
But we're two consenting adults in a 2-woman show where
Totally.
we chat and we want to reach the back row, and we're like, yes, I want you to see my eyes. I want you to see my eyebrows. I want you to be able to get the joke, because then you can see.
But
like
with kids.
a 10-year-old or a 9-year-old in does it matter? Does it matter? Enough to force her to wear lipstick and mascara? I don't think it does, personally.
No, probably not.
You know?
When I watched Rafa's dance concert video from last year, I actually loved that there were 2 girls in her school who wear glasses. And they've got these glasses with like a tight band at the back to kind of really secure it. And they just own it. They just dance wearing their glasses. And I'm like, I never saw that in my day.
No.
And then I wondered how many kids were dancing
with contacts
or unable to see properly.
Yeah, wow.
And they were just disadvantaged in that way, but they were dedicated and they perhaps weren't given an option. I don't know.
Or worse, didn't participate because I can't do ballet because I wear
glasses.
You know, like that's
I know.
devastating.
Yeah.
Update.
Yeah,
I'm all for the
fascinating.
update, but
Yeah.
I'm also for the interrogation of like, why do I really think that?
Yeah, absolutely. You know what I don't have time for?
What don't you have time for, Bestie?
I don't have time for shitty delivery people.
Oh no.
Yeah.
What's happened?
Look, I had a bit of an incident and I'm also in my no fucks era, which I now understand. You know, when we look at boomers and we often align them with being a Karen, I, for the first time in my life now, am starting to see how they get there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like,
Particularly women.
I've arrived. I've stopped. Because, you know, when your parents or your mum, let's use your mum, have a Karen moment and you remember being embarrassed.
Yeah. Oh
it's
yeah.
like,
Mortified.
oh my God, don't make a scene. Just go with it. Like my dad would do this as well. But now that I'm 40 or cresting 40, it's happened. I don't give a fuck anymore. Okay, for context for the story, I ordered 2 armchairs from a particular furniture brand, which I will not name. And I feel for furniture businesses because you are at the mercy of the courier or delivering company that you partner with. I understand it's not a reflection of the brand, but still it impacts your entire experience of the brand, whether you like it or not. So I had these 2 armchairs delivered and I didn't realize that there were different categories of service that you could book. Now, the service that I had booked was not white glove, apparently, where they come and they drop it off, they unbox it, they put the furniture into whatever position you want it, and then they take all the rubbish away. I ordered the service where they place the product in the room.
In the box?
In the box, but
Okay.
they will position it because it's furniture, it's heavy,
Yeah.
right? Anyway, I had these 3 delivery guys rock up to deliver 2 armchairs. DLs who follow me on Instagram will know that I recently had my floors done, completely sanded and restained. It was a huge job and I love my floors. This guy drops off this box in my living room and he goes, "Is this where you want it?" And I'm like, "Oh, actually, could you put it over there?" Now, I cannot possibly lift this box. I'm on my own at home. I said, "Oh, sorry, it just goes over here in this corner." And instead of picking up the box as he had from the truck to the position that he was staying in, he pushed it across the living room, across the floor. Now, giant scratch as he's doing it. And then he wants me to sign for these armchairs. And I'm like, he goes, "What's the problem?" And I'm like, "Well, you've just put a massive scratch on the floor." Like I'm talking it's 3 meters long, this scratch. Like imagine a giant white line that's indented in the ground. And my floors are parquetry, so they're that herringbone zigzag, if you can imagine. And then there's a straight white line across them. No joke. He goes, "That wasn't me." And I went, "Well, that wasn't there 3 seconds ago." And he goes, "It was. I saw it." And I was like, "No, I don't think you understand. I just got these floors done not long ago. They were in immaculate condition and that giant 3 meter scratch was not there." And he goes, "Well, I don't know what to say because it wasn't me." And I said, "You just dragged the box across the floor." He goes, "The box isn't going to do that." And I said, "Are you telling me that I'm making this up? Are you suggesting that I'm framing you for a scratch that you didn't do?" Because right now I'm upset because I just spent a lot of money restoring these floors and you've just walked in here and you've produced this. He said, "No, sorry." He said, "I'm not going to wear this." I didn't do it. Then his mate chimes in. He goes, "Oh no, see where the scratch is curved there? There's no way that he would have put the box down," as if he was there when it happened. He was not there. He wouldn't have put the box at that angle because then he would have had to twist it like the scratch is curved. Then the third mate comes in. So I've got 3 men in my house
Oh my God.
telling me that I've made this up. The third mate goes,
Gaslighters.
Hunji P. He starts telling me, "Oh, there's scratches all over the place." And I said, "Where?" And then he goes, "Oh, over there." And I go, "No, that's part of the scratch that your mate made." He goes, oh, what about over there? I'm like, where? Like, but to throw out a statement like that, there's scratches all over the place and then not back it up with fucking evidence.
Yeah, show your receipts.
So I refuse to sign it. I'm like, I'm not signing off on this delivery until I get a guarantee that something is going to be done about these flaws. They need to be repaired. So then the guy, the biggest guy, and now these guys are big, intimidating guys. They're delivery men.
Yeah, I can imagine.
He gets so mad at me that he
Are
goes,
the kids home?
no, it's just me on my own. And he goes, it wasn't the box. And I'm like, okay, but obviously that maybe there's a staple or something that stuck out of the box because it's left this very big you guys can see it. Yeah, we can see it, but it wasn't us. He picks up the box. He puts it back to the position where he dropped it and then demonstrated pushing it. And in demonstrating pushing it, he put a second scratch.
I mean,
parallel.
I'm happy for you because it obviously proved the point.
Yes. And I went, you're putting another scratch next to it. Like literally an inch next to the original scratch. He put a second and he went, oh shit, it was the box.
Was it a staple? I bet it was.
No, it's because the lounge has a metal rim base and he put the box on its side. So the metal rim is heavy enough that it's cutting through the cardboard, obviously. There was no foam around it, just a plastic bag. And then that's what it was.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. And
so
then
do they apologize?
No.
Ugh,
and he did not apologize. He just goes, oh, shit, it was the box. And then his mate goes, oh, yeah, that was definitely the box. I'm going to call my boss. And suddenly they went into action. And I said to the guys, I was like, hey, listen, I just want to say mistakes happen in life. Yeah. Okay. You obviously didn't mean to do that. But what I did not appreciate was the way you doubled down and tried to accuse me of making it up or making crazy claims that it was already there, as if I don't know these flaws intimately because I live here and spend all my time in this house.
Oh my God. Good on you.
Yeah, I said that. I was like, it's just kind
of. What did they say?
Oh, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to call the boss. And then they call the boss and then I hear the phone call. He's like, oh, yeah, we scratched the floors. We definitely did. Anyway, I got the boss's number and I texted him as well just to say, look, I understand mistakes happen, but what I didn't appreciate was the pushback that I got from your team. But I was just so angry at the lack of accountability and then the willingness to throw me under the bus and to use intimidation to get me to sign it so that they could get on to the next job. Now, Jem a year ago would have just copped it.
And written an email or whatever.
And then written an email. Yeah. But I was like, no, fuck off. These three fucking bozos. I'm not going to make you feel
good about your mistakes.
Yes. That was my biggest takeaway. I've learned that I am someone who feels very uncomfortable when someone else is fucked up and do that thing we all do. And I'm not going to lie, I worked against my feelings. Like when he went, oh shit, was the box? I felt bad.
For him,
which is outrageous. I felt bad. I felt embarrassed for him because he proved my point for me.
And you immediately want to make it comfortable.
Yes. My initial instinct was like, oh, it's okay. It's okay. You've proven it. It's fine. But instead I went on the lecture. Because I was like, no, you didn't apologize and you fucked up. Yeah. And I'm sick of accommodating male fragility.
Yeah.
Done with it. Anyway, Revz is clicking. To be like, preach.
Yes, go off.
But it is fucked how as a woman, we have that thought that pops into our heads that goes, am I safe in my own home right now with these three men? You know?
To stand up for myself.
To stand up for myself. Yeah. When I've done nothing wrong here, where they've wronged me, and yet here I am making a judgment call in the moment, whether or not to assert myself and my rights in this instance.
I am really proud of you. It's not even just a male thing. You are especially, and oh God, and I don't say this with any judgment because I was her too, incredibly accommodating to people. You are a deep empath and you always want to make everyone feel comfortable. You do. And it's like I'm watching you in turbo unlearn because you get taken advantage of. You do.
It is at the cost of myself. I'm aware of that now, but I'm done with it, Revz.
Yeah. I had a real light bulb moment a few years ago. not to make this about me, but
No,
it's
make
the
it-
same
no.
topic. It was about 3 years ago, and I was at a get together, and someone was saying something very sexist. There was a news story at the time about, it's very tragic, about someone who was claiming sexual assault, and then she'd since died by suicide, and there was a big court case happening to try and get to the bottom of it. And basically, this person was going on and on about, well, there's two sides to every story, and blah blah blah. It was one of those ones where it was like, actually, this is very clear what's happened
Yeah.
here. And then a lot of things were being said that were sexist. And my daughter was sitting next to me. And my son was probably too young to really be engaging in the conversation, but he was there as well. And I went, everything in me wants to just laugh this off and change the subject and move
Do an
on
internal eye roll
and go,
move
oh,
on.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, yeah. And just placate this conversation, because it's going to be awkward if I say, well, actually, that's quite a sexist thing to say because, whatever. And I was like, well, my kid's watching, and it became not just about me not giving any fucks or maturing or any other things, but I was like, I want my kid to know I don't stand for this and I won't tolerate this. And it was good. It was like a good engine for me to go like,
great.
and then anyway, so I did. I said things, and it had issues. It created issues in
it
the relationship.
made it awkward.
Made it really awkward. It meant that me and that person never really saw eye to eye again, and they're not really in my life anymore, which is fine. It was an interesting thing where I was like, no, I can't let casual sexism go. I can't laugh it off anymore.
No,
You
we've
know?
done it for so long.
And I understand that makes me a difficult woman or whatever, like, or just like challenging or whatever the dumb words people give. But it's really just like you run out of steam on making people feel comfortable for their shitty behavior. Definitely happens with our drop in estrogen.
Yeah, I think it's fine. I'm here for it.
I'm here for it too.
Here for the less accommodating of bullshit.
No.
I had a conversation with someone in the boomer generation. It was like a friend of my parents where they were rabbiting on about some crap. It was around the time of Sia's movie that came out where Maddie Ziegler was cast as a child with autism, and people in the autistic community were like, well, why aren't we casting
Someone
kids
with autism.
Yes, with disabilities in these roles who are capable? Why are they given, and I am all for this inclusivity. It's so interesting, isn't it, how when disabilities are invisible, such as autism, that we think it's fine to just cast actors who are neurotypical to play these roles. And yet you would never in a million years cast an actor to play someone with Down syndrome.
No.
Because they're
Not anymore.
well, but I can't actually think of a scenario.
I know, but
it
there's
might
been
have happened.
Yeah.
But like I'm kind of glad and that they can't be cast in those roles. And that I can think of a lot of short films and full-length feature films that I've seen that have featured people with Down syndrome playing themselves or a character with Down syndrome, and they are incredible actors.
Yes, of course.
So the point of my argument was I'm all for inclusivity
and all here for the conversation, challenging
Yes.
what has come before.
100p.
Yeah.
And this person, this boomer, absolutely had a dummy spit
Oh my
over,
God.
like literally like a toddler
Ugh.
through their toys, and like had a hissy fit because they thought I was being ridiculous, and this is the woke generation.
Yeah.
How
What's next? Did they do
yeah,
that?
and
What's next?
and
No one can play
totally.
anything. You have to be a murderer
And
to play a murderer.
the argument that they doubled down on was it's called acting.
Yeah, right.
And I was like, okay. I like we literally had to agree to disagree and end the conversation.
Yeah.
But it was so interesting how this person was so challenged by me saying, no, I'm sorry, I actually agree with moving towards progressiveness and inclusivity of people with disabilities being able to play these roles and be included in opportunities in feature film. And I used the example of West Side Story, where Spielberg was adamant on casting Puerto Rican women in the role of Puerto Rican characters.
Yeah.
And it turns
What a
out
light
they
bulb.
uncovered enormous talent
Yeah.
given the opportunity.
And obviously that gives the piece more cultural layers and relevance
Yeah.
and depth and all. I mean, it's so obvious.
Anyway, that's
Yeah.
my rant about that.
It's funny. I read something recently that was like, if you are offended by someone telling you their lived experience, you're the problem. And I was like, well, that's it.
Yep.
That is, you know, when something is so neatly summarized into the perfect,
Soundbite.
yes, like
Yeah.
that is so it, isn't it? And I'm trying to imprint that into my brain. Like if I'm
Totally.
challenged by someone's lived experience, I'm the problem. Yes, I can just see that. Like you have to
Totally.
defer to the person who has the lived experience as the authority. You can't go, well, I've never experienced that, but it is my strong double down opinion that, you know, you just can't, like, that's just ridiculous.
Couldn't agree more.
Wow, what a challenging episode.
It always surprises and delights us, doesn't it, Revs, when these conversations just go in all directions. And this is why I love the pod, because we don't marry ourselves to a format in the conversation. Sometimes chats just take us to different places that from what we planned at the head of the episode.
But in the next breath gem, tell me something I can buy. Hit me
Don't you
with-
sing?
Hit me with your not spun.
It's a very cute rendition of it. Have I got a not spawn for you today? I'm still in my cooking era and care about cookware, crockery, and all things to do with the kitchen, because
Can't wait
who
for
is
you
she?
to host Christmas this year.
Well, this is very fitting for that. My not spawn goes to In the Roundhouse.
Oh, yeah.
They do the most beautiful plates and bowls, anything that you would ever think to want for a dinner party.
Serveware.
Glassware, servery-ware. I am obsessed with the designs. It's bold and colourful and fun. They also have more neutral options for the neutral lovers out there. Anyway, I have a set of pasta bowls. They have slogans on them like Mi scusi or Ciao Bella. But anyway, aside from the adorable slogans in very cool font, no less, it's the colour palette as
Beautiful.
well.
So
It's just
fun.
yeah, and if you're in Australia, like we're heading into summer and you just want to add some colour and vibrancy to your dinner table, I cannot recommend In the Roundhouse enough. I fucking love their stuff.
I got a few plates for Christmas a few years ago, and they're just like, they're always a hit. When they come out, they start a chat too.
They spark joy.
Yes.
They do incredible
Do
platters
spark
as well.
joy.
And you know what? It's an ideal gift. Maybe someone's turning 40, and you know what? People never treat themselves to is an insanely beautiful platter.
Yes.
You might want to buy that for someone.
Yes, good work. Good shout. Good shout.
Revsy, hit me with your nut spawn. I'm meeting you where you're at.
Well, mine is a sunscreen. After all that chat, go check its choice rating. But it's beautiful. It's the Feel Good Ink sunscreen.
Fucking love this brand.
They're amazing. It does feel like skincare. They're beautiful on the skin. They're nice and thick, which I like. The flavor.
It's thick, but it doesn't leave a cast.
No. It
And
absorbs
it
beautifully.
absorbs beautifully.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think of
It's
thick.
creamy. It's creamy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, it doesn't leave a cast. I get the Kakadu plum one. It's in the green bottle.
I know the one. It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
They do a sensitive skin range that I use for Iggy, who has really bad eczema, unfortunately, in the hotter months. So I've tried many brands of sunscreen for him, and Feel Good Ink definitely helps with the reduction of flare-ups. The one that Revz was talking about, the Kakadu Plum one, is a chemical sunscreen.
Yes.
So, you know,
Less volatile.
Well, less volatile than mineral sunscreens, guys. So something to consider. I love the OG Feel
Yeah,
Good Ink. It's
really
the
nice.
terracotta peach
Yep.
kind of color bottle. It's the tits.
Yeah.
I love
Also
it.
the coconut one, and they do a coconut balm as like an after sun. That's really nice. Anyway, the whole range is lovely.
Great shout out.
It's bougie, but it is so
Worth it.
lovely for a daily thing. I've got a pump pack at our front door. We put it on every day. It's good stuff. We'll put a link in the show notes.
Yes, you can pick it up from our partners at Adore Beauty. This isn't Spawn, but you guys know how much we love Adore Beauty.
Super fast delivery, so, you know, obvi.
Now, DLs, while touring might be over, we still have incredible merch available for you from the live show. If you want a piece of memorabilia to remind you of that time that you came and joined 500 other people in communion and laughed and cried together.
Also, we are hearing from all of you how much you love the fit of the hat. We know. We worked very hard on it. It's the perfect hat. It fits every bloody head. Everyone buys one and then comes back and buys another one in another color. We have our show hats. We also have our coffee, wine, my personal
Yes.
summer favorite.
I was going to say, we
Trenches
have
be trenching.
podcast merch as well, not just
100p.
live show merch. And everyone loves the drape of our tees. We get told that all the damn time. It's all available for you. We will also add a link to the show notes.
Yeah, you know what is sun safe? A bloody hat.
Fuck yeah. And as always, we'll be back in your ears bright and early on Friday with a Bestie hotline. Have a wonderful week ahead, DLs. We love you.
Bye-bye.